Mafi bona chage Biafra Rokobore Makokari Mano Uramo Mafi bona chage Biafra Rokobore Kari Mano Uramo Mafi bona chage Biafra Rokobore Makokari Mano Urugo Mafi bona chage Biafra Rokobore Kari Mano Urugo Imanariga Jinta Jaravia Nkene Bugabaya Imanariga Jinta Jaravia Nkene Bugabaya Ogano Chure Aso Coach Patena Bagati Tindino Ogago Chure Aso Coach Patena Bagati Tindino Abo Brother Masikwala Makine Sirike Kiweri Sigiru Basabo Esyo Ima Wanawa Kesine Ne Madam Makiwerendo Gebiego Imanabu Kage Makiwe Esendelu Enyedia Unine Kero Sabo Nduhe Wegudo Nduhe Wegim Borabo Weekend to Hasa Nduhe Wegudo Nduhe Wegim Borabo a weekend to Hasa Sabo Atutwala la nike atutu woro nike ni abwego kenha Atutwala la nike atutu woro nike ni abwego kenha Otu akoga de mbebya fraga bia atutu ndega nora Otu akoga de wo mbebya fraga biaru atutu ndega nora Obotoma Mafi bona chage Biafra Rokobore Kari Mano Mafi bona chage Biafra Rokobore Kari Mano Ulugo Mafi bona chage Biafra Rokobore Kari Mano Ulugo.
Thank you. It's getting late, so I don't need to play so long of that. Let me quickly get to the chase and bring into us the interview between our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S, one of the best ever interview he has granted, and one of the best. I think the best, I consider the best, is the one with our Prime Minister. This is also one of them with Dele, Dele Momodu. Intermittently, I'm going to put the link intermittently. Some of you might want to just come in and remind us of some of the things that makes our leader unique in our lives and in our freedom. So while I'm going to be playing it, I will put the link so that anybody can come in. And once you come in, we will stop the message, you'll talk, and we'll go back and play it. We'll take it as long as we can tonight. If we don't finish it, we'll do it tomorrow.
The path we are pursuing is a path of pressure, relentless pressure to ensure that Biafra comes. How are we going to employ that pressure? There are only two ways to get your freedom in the history of the whole world. Freedom can be gotten only two ways. One is through the ballot box. In other words, people will contest and they will have Biafra Nationalist Party. Yes, as they have in Scotland. and then we vote for them. When they then go to the house or maybe go to Abuja, they will say, we are here under the mandate of Biafra Nationalist Party. Because of that, we want to go and conduct a referendum in order for us to be free. The other way, you fight. Either you go through the ballot box or you fight. Which option are we choosing? We have chosen to fight.
To fight. All right. Let's go. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S answered a lot of questions in this interview. I'll bring it up and then I'll put the link. All right. Thank you for joining me tonight. Please, as you are coming in, please hit the like button. Hit the like button so that others will come and join us tonight. It's a very good therapy for you tonight before you go to bed. I'm telling you.
My name is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S. I lead the indigenous people of Biafra. And also I am the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television. And my job and my duty is to serve the people of Biafra up until the restoration of the stolen sovereignty of Biafra land is restored. And also to an extent to also serve Nigerian youths as well. I think since the whole project.
Please remember, just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S, I know you have listened to this for a long time before, but take your pen and paper. Take your pen and paper, and there are so many things it will remind you tonight. Take your pen and paper, you jot down anything you want to elaborate on or emphasize a little bit on, or remind us of more details that you have gotten from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S in various occasions that you have been following him. So I know that there are very solid students of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S that are on this platform. Please, let's do this tonight. Let's go.
Protest started. We have been serving them and serving them very diligently every morning and every evening. And it is something that we should be able to continue into the foreseeable future or until all the demands made by the young people are met by ASROC.
Could you tell us about your background, your parentage, schools attended, and all that, please?
Schools attended, my background is quite simple. My late parents, His Royal Majesty Ezekiel Kano, and my mom as well, Lolo Mbeme, Ugeze, Lolo Mbeme Kano. And I went to Lab Avenue Primary School, which was a model primary school in Umuahia, arguably one of the finest. And then I attended the best secondary school in the world, I believe, Fisher High School, then named Government College Umuahia, the same alma mater as Chinua Achebe, Kensira Wiwa, and Cyprian Ekwensi, and a whole host of other people who have gone on to at least make an indelible mark in our consciousness, if not in our society. And then from there, I went to University of Nigeria in Nsukka, where I spent about 2 years, and they weren't doing anything that I felt enhanced my ability to understand what I was there for. I had to travel to England, where I studied politics and economics at now London Metropolitan University. I've worked in various capacities. I'm actually the owner of Alpha Phoenix Consulting Limited in the UK, which is a consultancy firm, an economic development consultancy firm. I did actually work with a lot of people like Genesis and all the rest of them, where I held managerial positions until my calling. And that calling is to help restore the kingdom of God on the face of this very earth. And that's what we've been doing for very many years now.
Fantastic. So growing up, who were your heroes, your mentors?
I think my father was number one. Only two people in my life have seriously impressed me. One was my dad, that I was very close to, that I learned a lot of things from. We never actually spoke that very often, but I used to sit around and watch him conduct his counsel, the way he adjudicated in cases and the things that he did. And most of the morals that he left me with. I remember on one occasion, I asked my father, why is it that even after Sunday service, when we get back home, normally if I go to my friend's house and you ask after their father, they'll tell you that their dad is sleeping or doing something of that sort. But in my house, any time there's a knock on the door, my father will encourage us to open the door. And I kept wondering why. And he said, if you have nothing to hide, then you should be able to answer every knock on the door. That is why you need to keep your hands very clean. And throughout my life, apart from the time that these criminals, these savages came to my house, the police had never been to my house or the army with a hostile intent. Operation Python Dance on the 14th of September of 2017 was the very first time in my entire life that the army or the police entered my house with intention either to enforce the law or to kill or to arrest or to pillage or to destroy, the very first time. So my father was number one. The second person is Thomas Sankara, the late Thomas Sankara, because of how he managed to turn Burkina Faso around from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, and the miracle he was able to perform. For the very first time in living memory, it was demonstrated that should Black people put their minds to something, they can make something out of nothing. From being a basket case, they became the largest exporter of food across West Africa under the, should I say, the leadership of this brilliant, 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 and very brave young man, Thomas Sankara. So just those two people.
Okay, fantastic. I think before we continue, it would be nice for me to ask if this is the real Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or the cloned one.
I can pull my ear for you. You can see I'm trying to exert as much pressure as I can. The clown in Asorok has 2 ears. I only have 1. You can see my glasses. I can take it off. You can see there is no other appendage anywhere behind this one. It's only one. I can pull my nose for you. You know it is me. In fact, I can even bring, if you'll pardon me, I have here with me the mask that everybody has to wear these days. You can see that my ear is not bent, is it? You can see that it's normal, it's not bent. But the clown in Asorok, when he's wearing his own mask, you see that his ear will be bent like that. Mine is not bent. So it is the real me. And of course, I have this mark here and it's unmistakable.
Yeah, I just wanted to establish that you are alive because I read somewhere that you were dead. And so I wanted to be sure I'm not making history by talking to a dead man in heaven.
Not at all. I'm here live with you on this program. Dele.
Fantastic. So could you tell me some of the books that you read that might have influenced you? I don't want to say radicalized you. I would say influenced you.
Growing up was, as with most of my peers, is Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart. That is number one, because it reminded us of who we are, where we are coming from, and where we should be heading to. So that very book was pivotal in shaping my understanding of my people and what needs to be done to rectify the damage that colonialism had done to our people. The second one I would say is Alex Haley's Roots. Again, in that very book, it reminded me or reinforced the need for the Republican zeal that burns in each and every Biafran, that we see ourselves as equal before any other race around the world, and our belief, cardinal belief, that all men are created equal before God. Given the heroic sacrifice those people made at Savannah in Georgia, in America, many, many centuries back. I also read Leon Uris's Exodus. It is about the Jewish Holocaust and the reestablishment of the State of Israel. Again, a very decent pointer towards where Biafra should be heading to. Those 3 books, Things Fall Apart, Alex Haley's Roots, and Leon Uris's Exodus. They're my 3 favorite books here.
I've read a lot about your religious beliefs, but could you tell us about your faith?
I worship the one true God in heaven that incidentally every religion on this earth believes, or should I say, worship as well. I believe I am a follower of Yeshua, Jesus Christ. I believe I worship where.
Okay, like I promised, I would stop it. If there's anybody in my room, it means you might want to say something. Omeri Samuel, you are in my room. You're welcome. Is there something you want us to talk about that you just heard? Omeri Samuel, are you there? Omeri Samuel, are you there? All right, okay. He seems not to have been ready for that. Okay, we'll continue. What happened to you? Let me see. Bring you. Omeri Samuel, are you there? Are you the one that jumped out by yourself, or is the network? Hello, are you there? All right, you're not ready. I'm going to bring in someone else that might be ready. All right, let's go.
Jesus worshipped. I worship the same God that Jesus Christ worshipped.
I worship the same God that Jesus Christ worshipped. I worship the only true God. So in this place, you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S explains the person of Jesus Christ. You know, so many people have been deceived to believe that Jesus Christ is God. Jesus Christ is not God because he worshipped God. Jesus Christ is the Son of God, and there is a Savior, just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S also is a Savior. And you need to understand it. You know, this is deep, and these are things that we understand as students of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S. We learned a lot from him. So let me just allow him to repeat that again so that you understand our prophet and our teacher very deep.
God in heaven, that incidentally, and our belief, cardinal belief, that all men are created equal before God. Given the heroic sacrifice those people made at Savannah in Georgia, in America, many, many centuries back. I also read Leon Uris's Exodus. It is about the Jewish Holocaust and the reestablishment of the state of Israel. Again, a very decent pointer towards where Biafra should be heading to. Those three books, Things Fall Apart, Alex Haley's Roots, and Leon Uris's Exodus. They're my three favorite books here.
I've read a lot about your religious beliefs, but could you tell us about your faith?
I worship the one true God in heaven, that incidentally every religion on this earth believes, or should I say, worship as well. I believe I am a follower of Yeshua, Jesus Christ. I believe I worship where Jesus worshipped. I worship the same God that Jesus Christ worshipped. I praise the same God that Jesus Christ praised. And one of my favorite prayers actually was the prayer that Jesus prayed when he was asked to teach the disciples how to pray. And he said, "Our Father who art in heaven," which goes to confirm the supremacy of Almighty God in heaven, bar none, the name above all names. And it is exactly the religion of my forefathers. My ancestors worshipped God and God alone. We answer Wachuku. From the names we give our children, we glorify God. And if you go to my village right now, all you hear about Ikechuku or the Nakachuku, everything is about God. So I don't need to be tutored or to be told by anybody who God is, because God is ever present in our lives, and that is the God that I worship. Sometimes people tend to mistake it because the only modern interpretation of that very religion is Judaism. The only modern interpretation of this ancient religion is modern day Judaism. So that is why I tend to gravitate towards Judaism. But as I said, I am a follower of the teachings of Jesus Christ. But I practice Judaism in the main.
I was privileged to meet the late Chief Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu in his lifetime. In fact, Ovation had exclusive access to his wedding, to his wife, Lady Bianca. What was your relationship with him? Did you ever meet him? And did you draw inspiration whatsoever from him?
Yes, he is our eternal leader. And that was the title that I gave to him in recognition of the very stellar work that he did, trying to save a people that didn't want to be saved. And also, I had come in contact with him in London. We invited himself, Peter Obi Chekwas Okoro, to come to London. That was in the year 2002, if I'm not mistaken. And I consider it an honor that where he stayed, the hotel he stayed in London, I paid for it. So I had sat with him on a few occasions and benefited from his immense counsel. The reason why we want to honor him by restoring Biafra. And only then will the whole world know in how much esteem we actually hold him. To us, he's an icon. To us, he's our Moses. To us, he is the forebearer. To us, he is everything. And Ojukwu to us, it means a whole lot more than people can ever imagine. And the few times that I sat with him and he spoke, he said a lot of things. In fact, the role that the British played during the war, he was the one that made me to actually realize what they did and the need for us to be very careful. The journalists that were interviewing him, especially from BBC, in their typewriters were, should I say, listening devices that were transmitting everything Ojukwu was saying all the way back to London. And that made it possible for them to sabotage that very effort, or should I say, to undermine it, especially what transpired at Aburi, that we now have the tapes and records of. So I sat with him and I discussed with him, and it was very, very informative, very, very fruitful. And I learned a lot from him, something that will continue to guide me as we proceed on this very important and critical journey towards the restoration of Biafra.
We want to restore Biafra in honor to him. We want to restore Biafra in honor to Dim Odumegwu Ojukwu. And you can also see that our Prime Minister today is also akin or connected with the same zeal and passion to restore Biafra in the honor of Dim and in the honor also and praise of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S. You see the connection and the link? Let's enjoy this. Remember that it's an open mic. If you're listening to this message and then there is a place that triggers in you, the link is there. You can hit the link and come in. So otherwise, we'll just play it and we'll continue till we are tired tonight.
Fantastic. Now we'll get to the area of my bazookas. Now it's time to fire a few bazookas at you. You've been seen by many as waging a war against your country, Nigeria, by seeking a Biafra nation. What led to your decision?
First of all, Nigeria is not my country. I was born a Biafran. My birth certificate reads Biafra, and no one has ever changed that. The fact that I was at some point or the other in possession of a Nigerian passport does not actually confer upon me their citizenship. I saw the Nigerian passport as a mere travel document because my birth certificate issued at the time of my birth reads Biafra. Nobody of a sane mind will condone or accept what is happening in Nigeria. I believe that genuine attempts have been made in the past to try to remedy the wreck that Nigeria is today, but there was a palpable unwillingness on the part of the powers that be to do something about it. I detest suffering and pain. I hate to see people suffer. I hate to see people in pain. The only thing that propels me, the only thing that drives me towards this very agitation is not born out of hatred for anybody, but a desire to test freedom in our time. Nigeria was not constructed by a Yoruba man. If it were, I would have perhaps accepted. Nigeria was not created by a Fulani man. If that was the case, who knows, I may accept. Nigeria was not created by a Hausa man either. It wasn't created by a Nupe man. It wasn't created by a Gwari man, never created by a Jukun man. Nigeria was not created by an Ijaw man, not created by an Ibibio man. Nigeria was created by a white man and named by a white woman. The name Nigeria means awful, bad, evil. It means nigger, which is a swear word, is a slur in America. If a white person calls a black person nigger, they might end up in jail. Then why should I answer a name that is abhorrent before God and before man? Nobody came from all these ethnic groups. They never got together to say, as from today our name should be Nigeria. A white man determined that. I cannot go to England and say to English people, I want to rename Liverpool. I want to give it another name. I'm sure they'll think I'm mentally, unstable and put me in jail. Now, the problem is this. Why should Africans accept the name Nigeria? It doesn't mean anything in Yoruba language, doesn't mean anything in Hausa language, doesn't mean anything in Igbo language, but yet we are Africans. So I see it as a relic, or should I say a vestige of racism. I see Nigeria as an abomination, not just before God, but before man as well. Those with common sense, that is the reason why I like Thomas Sankara. Thomas Sankara changed the name from Upper Volta that had no meaning to Burkina Faso. Now, I wonder why educated, very savvy and enlightened Nigerians cannot see it. You have half of Yoruba land in Benin Republic. Some are in Togo. For over 20 years, I have been a very vocal advocate of a Yoruba nation that will also encompass the Yorubas in Benin Republic and those in Togo, because they are Yoruba people. Wouldn't that be very wonderful? Why should white people come from Europe and decide that some Yorubas should be Togolese, some should be from Benin Republic, and some should be from Nigeria? You're a Yoruba man. What do you have in common with a Kanuri man? Absolutely nothing. But I can tell you, you have something in common with a Yoruba man in Togo. You have something in common with a Yoruba man in Benin Republic. Why should you see a Kanuri man as your fellow citizen in Nigeria and not a Yoruba man who lives just a stone throw from Badagry? So these are the anomalies that Africans need to sit down to address. That is why we have arrested development. That is why nothing seems to be working, because the convergence of these diverse value systems from the core Arewa, from the West and from the East, is making it impossible for Nigeria to function as a viable state. And that is a recognition that we must, at this very point in time, be able to address as educated people. Not that I hate Nigeria. I hate the name. I despise it with a passion. If you allow me, I wouldn't exist tomorrow morning. Anybody who answers or addresses him or herself as a Nigerian is a product of neocolonialism, not something that I am prepared to accept, because Nigeria never existed until Flora Shaw gave her that name, Nigeria. Before that, you had Oduduwa. Before that, you had Biafra. Before that, you had Kremlin Empire, and all these wonderful and weird civilizations. Now, a white man cannot come from Europe and then create an identity for me. Only God in heaven can do that. And I can give an identity to my dog. The only thing you can name are your children and your pets. They are not our fathers. They are Caucasians. We are Black Africans. They have no right being in Africa and giving us names. And that I will never, ever accept.
We need to clap for, yeah. Hey, oh, Guinea. Did you see the way Onyendu demolished Nigeria? He said Nigeria is an abomination. Hey! Oh, Hamadike. Eh? Oh my goodness me. Okay, look at my room. Okay, I think people are here in my room already. Let me allow at least 3 or 4 minutes. Let's see if Rastaman heard that. Take your turn, Rastaman, and then the next guest before we continue and allow Onyedu to flow. Rastaman, please.
Yes, my brother. I said that we fed up of this zoo. We shake up this zoo. Break up this zoo. No makeup for the zoo. Greetings, people of the rising sun. In Selassie, I am the only one upon the throne. I the conquering lion. This is time of decision. Yes, Biafra has the right to decide her. Biafra's judgment there is no partiality. It is testing time. Biafra testing. Stand on your feet. Testing time. Biafra is wrestling. Oh yeah, it is testing time. Biafra testing. Better stand up on your feet, not resting time. Biafra wrestling. Am I coming out clear?
Yeah, you're coming out very clear. Very clear.
Do you know who you are? You said you love Biafra, your land. Forever now stand up for her. With the spirit of Chukwoki Kabiama, the Most High Jah, Ya, Yeshua HaMashiach, justice of Rastafari, yes, was honored the Mebu Emeka Ojukwu, Efyong Eze Israel Okukanu, Achuze Anu Lolo Eze Kanu, now rest on Namudi Kanu, and the rest of us. Oh, rising us, spirit of peace, rising us. Equity rising us, Daddy Almighty, in this testing time. Biafra testing, better stand up on your feet, not resting time. Biafra wrestling, oh yes, in this testing time. Biafra testing, oh yeah, not resting time. Biafra is wrestling. Make I no go further. My people, I agree to now. Now testing we did, and now testing where we go pass. As you see Ahamadike here, for the word where he stay, he stand Gidigwam, and now the test of time, in there they pass the test. Then they bring anything where they want. The man stand Gidigwam. They do go anywhere, and our Obatobie, now the same spirit too. Anything where they tell yes, they are there, so they stand. And unless if you bring a bigger argument, then go sit and go embrace them because it will be love. So now with that, I just see my brother Bam, the review of Hamadike's. Now he say make people join them. Now me I can't join. I say make I can't join the thing. My brother, make I let somebody talk. Now I did the watch.
Thank you. All right. I don't know what triggered Mbatuegu. Please take the microphone before we
Bam. The most rugged pastor. One day put a late start out because it's a category.
I will meeting before now. Yeah.
Thank you. The Abomo Obiora. And you go okay. So I have now no meeting. But when we meet tomorrow, come on, but so see okay. MSA meeting. I will call you back. So I'm putting on to toa. Take a batabero. Mbayego da do ramma. They get that side. I don't get that side. It okay one day. I check area market. Mama got a good head on there. So it's all the same, my brother. I love you, bro. You are doing a great job.
Thank you.
You know, what I'm seeing right now is exactly what I always say. You know, I tell somebody, look, you are in Nigeria. And any day you travel abroad and spend 1 year, you come back to Nigeria, you will never go to church again. It was like, why do you say so? Why are you saying this? I said, look, these people gave us Christianity. They did not give us Christianity because they love us. If heaven is a place that is adorable and that is accessible for everybody, including Africans, white man will not give you the way to it. And I refer him, look at India. When the Britain come to India, when the Britain came to India, they brought Bible, they brought everything they want. They were so happy, they want to spread their hand to harbor the whole India. The Indians told them, we don't need your religion, we need your education and technology. And if you are not good with that, leave. And Britain accepted. That is why India did not accept the religion that we have today. They only accept the technology and education from Britain. That is number one. And the person was still arguing. I said, okay, this place I am now, I can drive my car, park it, if I have a journey of 3 days, park it somewhere, leave the key on that ignition, go to wherever I'm going, so that whoever wants to park or repark can remove my car and put it back. After 3 days, I will come back and the car will still remain the same place. And I asked him, can I do the same thing in zoo? He said, no, they will steal the car. I said, that is what I'm telling you. And I tell him that in that same zoo, in your street, how many church are you seeing every morning when you wake up or you're passing through? He kept quiet. If you listen to our leader, he understands the spiritism behind religion and church going. You know, if you are a psychology student, when you study spiritism as a part of your course of study, you will know the in-depth of what we call religion. So, from what our leader is portraying, is letting you know that he's not against Christ, he's not against whatever you are doing to believe or whatever you believe. But the most important thing is the humanity, and that same humanity is what comes from God. And who is God? The Almighty, who Jesus is always telling you, my Father, my Father. And again, I met something online in a British one British page where I follow. You know, I follow bomber to bomber different pages, but different ways of life to portray the vest and the pains of Africans, mostly Biafrans. And someone asked a question: if you are asked to remove one thing on earth that will bring permanent peace, what is it? People were commenting and commenting. And you know what I write? Religion. The problem of this world we are today is religion. Last time I called you, I think that was last month, I was speaking and I said that the same people that gave us the Bible to read go to Europe today. They don't go to church anymore. The same people that came and tell our ancestors that the Bible said one man, one wife, and we'll forget about polygamy and begin to follow it according to our love for Christ, are the one now telling you that Chukwebuka is ready to marry Obi. And the same pastor they ordained is the one to bless that marriage. Let us think. They are not interested to give us that key that sends to heaven, because if there is a key that leads to that heaven, white man cannot allow you to come to. They never allow you to stay in their country. They are struggling and frustrating you so that they will deport you from the country. Talk more of when they have access to heaven. So, from whatever Dele is trying to cash out, if you look at the last elections, you will not know that Dele only used our leader to get momentum, to get influence. But my happiness is that whether he trying to get influence or whatever, our leader used that opportunity to tell him and his fellow Yorubas the gospel truth about Nigeria. It pains me sometimes when I see those who proclaim that they are Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S disciple, that Simon Ekpa is working for Nigeria, that he has come to hijack this. They all do this, but they never digest the message of our leader. Because when you digest the message of our leader, you will understand that he is a man that can never be compromised. He is a man that does not believe in anything apart from what will give us our freedom, what will restore that name, originality of who we are. I was talking to somebody last time and I said, "You believe in Nnamdi Kanu?" He said, "Yes." Do you hear him saying, "Go and listen to Simon Ekpa"? He is taking us to another dimension. He said, "Yes." I said, "Did you hear him saying he is doing fantastically well?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Go and take your dictionary and find the meaning of fantastic." So what am I saying, my people? When you claim to be a Biafran who listen to Nnamdi Kanu and your love for Biafra developed through his messages, and you have never been able to digest, to integrate with his messages, and know exactly who you are, you are not yet a hardcore Biafran. Biafra is coming. I'm just coming from my office now. I told somebody who is also one of the Ndintike, you know what? When our leader come out, he will dissolve all these things you are doing into Biafran government. Because I think Uchafi Maka. Simon Ekpa is pregnant.
Our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is somebody that associates himself with whatever is working. If that thing is working for the, do you see that our leader was even ready to give those criminal governors a benefit of doubt, as long as it will be for the interest of Biafra?
Let me make it easy for those who don't understand what you are saying. Nnamdi Kanu once said, and he keeps saying it: if you know what he will do for Biafran to come, that is better than what I'm doing, please bring it on. If you know what he will do for Biafran to come, please do it. And when he realized that those around him are not even understanding his message, he began to cry, "I need 100 men." A man surrounded with people, a man surrounded with those that call themselves lawyers, a man surrounded with who are claiming to be hardcore, yet he said he needs 100 men to restore Biafra. I am not speaking from maybe mere expression. I'm speaking from experience. I've told you where I'm living, and from my participation in Biafra struggle, I was a damn motherfucking hardcore. As in hardcore Kebubuna, Africana today, one day, because I cannot come over. My father, nobody forced him. My father is not among those that was captured to go and fight for Biafra war. My father is among those who went straight when the campaign was on and registered their name and start training voluntarily for the love of his fatherland. And I believe the spirit also transferred to me. What am I saying? The distraction I'm seeing on the faces of media shows that there is a lot of afonja. Enugo no nwere no katara in Igbo land banwea azikiwe or chiejuna. I said no. See, I don't do anything that will make your name to perish from the lips of those who are existing on earth. Our leader saw all these things. He sat down with Odume Oduku who told him, look, this is our pains. This is what we passed through. This is what they have done to us. And yet you betrayed him. And the guy was like, I said, the day our leader took a flight to Kenya, who escorted him to airport?
Mm.
Who purchased the ticket from admin department? And how did Nigerian government know that he is coming to Kenya? Anytime you think about this, then you will realize that something is fishy. I'm not saying this to demoralize our brothers. I'm not saying this to let anyone hate each other. Even those who are going astray, even those who believe that they are on the right path, I am not against them. The most important thing is for Biafra to come. When Biafra comes, then we will remove Peter from Paul and put our country in order. When I listen to, if like I'm talking to you, whenever I'm angry, maybe I'm walking, I'm angry, or something upset me, I just pick my phone, I go to YouTube, Nnamdi Kanu message, I pick one of his messages, and once I begin to listen, my spirit comes down. It's an antidote.
Yes.
So please, I am begging. If you are listening to this voice and you've not voted, and all the members of the family have not voted for referendum, hey, you are more than a coward. I'm sorry to use that word. Because whatever that made our leader to be where he is today, do you think that Nnamdi Kanu is giving up? He's not giving up. Our leader said it the other day. He was giving our state of this thing. He said that for him, he knows that Nnamdi Kanu's spirit is strong. Nnamdi Kanu is stronger than you and I that are talking today. They think they are caging him. No, they give him the opportunity to communicate with the ancestors. They give him the opportunity to pray and intermediate with the spirit which he believes in. If you want to doubt what I'm saying, lock yourself in just 3 days, not coming out. Prayers, and you will see the revelation you will get. And talk more of when you are confined in a place where you have no exposition to sin or anything that will dent your spirit, and all you do every day is to pray morning, afternoon, and night. Then think of who he is. And think of the boldness that made him to walk up to that Yoruba lawyer and stretch up his hand and say, shake me. And it was a trap. If he took that hand, he was paralyzed. So I'm begging on Biafra. It pains me a lot when I go to social media and I see what those who claim to be Nnamdi Kanu disciples, the kind of messages they are posting, the kind of posts they are sharing to demoralize the activities that is bringing the way of Biafra, the freedom of Biafra. And I ask myself, has it been that they are arresting Nnamdi? Just imagine they are arresting Nnamdi Kanu. Okay, good and fine. And those that are supposed to come out to ginger for his release tell you that they are going underground, that they are wise, they know what they are doing. Imagine that all of us are underground for 3 years. But when they saw the fire from Simon Ekpa, and they were like, but you never told me that there is a person like this. Why did you tell me about this guy? Let us wait, please, let's be patient. Because if we move fast, I don't know what. This is why our leader is alive today. Mark my words.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So I encourage Biafra, please. Don't look at. When you're walking on this narrow path, keep your head straight. If we keep our head straight and concentrate on that particular rising sun, our end will be freedom of Biafra. I bless you all. I thank you all. And I came back with my son that I sang yesterday morning. Bam, bam, bam. I was there in the morning yesterday. when I was singing this song, I was feeling the spirit. I couldn't talk again. Tears were falling from my eyes. And I decided to cut off. Yesterday, you remember yesterday morning I was singing and I wanted to say a lot of things. But when I started singing that song, tears began to drop. I was with a friend of mine who is in Pakistan. And he saw me crying. He said, why crying? Any problem? I said, you will not understand. That is how much I love my country. But because of time, let me save that song until next time. I bless you all. May Chukwu and guide our footsteps, protect us and lead us through. Protect our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S, and give strength and wisdom to Mazi Simon Ekpa. Osisi ọbụla fụrụ na-atụ ngwu, asị m agha ngwuzuo ha arụ. Asị m ọgwụ ọbụla ma ije ọbụla ejere n'isi ya, we follow those who went for that journey. As long as na-aka ya dị ọcha. And give away again today, because I pray that the spirit of our ancestors, spirit of those, just go and Google it and look at children and their ribs ordinary because of Kwashiorkor.
Thank you. Look at my brother. Thank you so much.
Please, let us follow this. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I'm carried away. In fact, I don't know. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you. All hail Biafra. All hail Biafra.
Thank you, Wachideka. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Itiere Kondo, my beloved sister.
Itiere Kondo.
Itiere Kondo, yes. Thank you. Vam, vam, vam. Our Rastavera in Biafra land.
Itiere Kondo. Simon Ekpa, Itiere Kondo.
Rasta, Biafra. Yes, thank you. Pastor Vam Vam Vam. Good morning or good evening. You know, we are still in the gospel of Biafran. You know, this my brother, that I was just listening. Now, this my brother just finished, makes me come in.
Wow.
By him saying that if some people know the way of going to heaven, they will not let anybody know. No, yes. No, please, my brother, you make mistake. Sorry to say that everybody in this world know the way to go to heaven. The pastor will tell anyone that the way to go to heaven, they know the way to go to heaven. But they don't want to. They only tell the fools the way to go to heaven. The only way they will not tell you the way to go to paradise. Yes. Because the way to be in paradise before you go to heaven, that is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S, a sample, is giving you, that you must be a paradise in earth before you go to heaven. So your pastor lie for you. Anybody who tell you to go to heaven before our forefathers, they live up to even 100 and something. They cry when children died because they don't fulfill their promise in earth. So that means that they worship Almighty. They want people to see, to promise to fool the promise of paradise in earth before they go to heaven. And when you go to heaven, you will sit down. You will even give, in my family, my forefathers, that time they know they scare for death. Anywhere you there, when you want to go to meet to heaven, you want to bless your children. You will call them anywhere you there, and especially the loved one. If they want to go to heaven, they will sit down first. They are very old. They will request for one person. to them to bless them. And you said, you will ask, why are you saying that this? Why are after they bless them, maybe they go to, they say they want to go and sleep, and maybe they want to go and do something. And before you know, that person don't go to heaven. And he will not be crying. Before you will hear blessing. That is why we say, when now they use it of using as brainwash. If somebody old in our own tradition, if you see an old man, you will kneel down to him to bless you because he want to bless you. Very soon you don't know. They know more than you. The right one, the nature's one. So I'm coming back. Where to go to heaven, where your pastor no tell you. Very simple. Go and drink tapia. Find anything where can take your life tomorrow or next. Now. You will see you'll be in heaven. It's not wasting time, my friend. So your pastor no tell you the truth. Ask the kingdom of earth, the word of this to you to promise. If you they steal, if you they do good things, so that when you go to heaven, you will not be scared. You can't promise the word of God in heaven, here in earth. So that when you go there, you will know. Giving account is different way. If you they suck blood, before you even go to heaven self, you go see what they do. And you will be scared. Because you're dreaming. You can dream sometimes. You lie down. I make you a sample of heaven. Sorry to say this. When you're sleeping, do you know where you are? You know they dream? Sometimes in a dream where you're living very, very good. If you wake up safe, you go say, "Chai, why did I wake up for that kind of dream now?" Because you're suffering. You don't want to, that thing sweet you well. And when they wake up, you fit even knock somebody's head. And when you're dreaming too, so when you're sleeping, because you don't know where your leg and left going. And when you're sleeping, you're dreaming when they are flocking you. You go wake up, spring, like saying a madman. And you go say, God, thank you. Oh, na dream. What about if you pass that dream, you go to heaven? Then go they flock you 247. Sorry, Now so it be So if you don't know what it means, you better know it now. That go to heaven is very easy, but go to paradise. Now people where they find go to paradise, now it made them sell their self to demon. And they are scared of death. Because they are already deceiving the punishment in this paradise where you don't find it in the good way of your nature. So live longer truth. So I come back to that monkey face, that gorilla, where you just played for our leader. My people, open your eye, yo. Do you remember? Go back. This interview with our leader. Because remember, this man contest for presidency.
And you know one funny thing? After he contests all those things, and he knows that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S is innocent. He has won all the cases.
Yes, because they want to hear.
And ask for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S freedom.
Yes, because they want to hear the word of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S as a truth. He did not lie. He thought it's like them. They want to know how to find, how to enter. And he tell them, look in his face now. When he confused, when he tell them the truth, he was totally confused. Because he did not what he expects. And emotion and everything, nobody knows that they want to go to, to a selection. After then, they know all our leader tell them the truth of the truth. This is me. I'm whiter than snow. All of them go to work to kidnap him. Is it not when this man interview our leader? Both DOS, Nigerian Sioux government, both the whole world go to work They kidnap our leader from Kenya. Since then, do you see this man come out after he went to selection? Is it not plan work? So, see these people. Like now, our Itiare Kondo, the dragon of Biafra land, don't come out. Tell them that I'm the messenger, I'm the real son of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of Biafra land, the leader of the whole world. Do you see the propaganda they're bringing come? So wake up, Biafra. Stand with Biafra. Love Biafra. Love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Love Itiare Kondo. You are a Biafran. You must finish your work. Do you know what the propaganda they bring and come? You see everywhere. I want to build roads. Few flying in short. I don't know. Our people said, if you reach so much, afokweni ekokoitieti, afokwe kimo ilo mnenyo kimi mine kido woni ani ifyo tieti ke rimbolo mi kana basi. Bob uforo abuen. Do you know what it means? If you think you're slimmer than God Almighty, who created heaven and earth, as our leader said, he worshiped the God where Yeshua worship. Now the same thing with me. And the parable go in that way too. When our people, they said, especially my people. But for many fear bobo, but for many a bobo for abuen. If you reach so much, you get intelligent more than God, you can do heaven and earth. Make you build needle. Do you know what is needle? Pastor Van Van. You know needle. That is when they put cloth. They sew that small pin. They will use it and sew cloth, needle. So abuen, now they call for my language. They use that thing, build, study building. That is the parable for the evil, for people who think they know. So if you think you can win Biafra, use needle, build uforo buen upstairs.
Wear your clothes.
So my people,
as you did now, no sweet you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my beloved sister. You have spoken very well.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Biafran. Thank you, Rastafari. Thank you, Pastor Vam. Vam them, because this is the time. We can't give up. You must fund Biafra. Fund it. Respect your soldiers. Respect your government. Make sure you respect your nation. Declare it and fund it and stand with it, because we are not going back. No, we can't do it. God for heaven, no, because now in word, we are a human being. We can't change it, what he do, what he said. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Vam. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, my Lord.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful night, beautiful sister. Thank you. All right, Ifeanyi Ugwueze. So it's obvious we may not be able to play the message again. We have only played 17 minutes. That means we are still going to play that message tomorrow. But I would have loved to play more of that message. But it's like our people will have a lot to say, so I'll give you the microphone. Ifeanyi Ugwueze, can you speak? Take the microphone.
Good evening.
Watching okay.
Good evening. Rasta, good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother. As he did that, I see
Yes,
something.
Pastor Vam,
I can't see no your teeth. That's it.
Yes. Yes. We don't have light, and heat is dealing with us in zoo. So we are outside. Yes. Baba, I don't truly know the topic. I just come in so that I will follow up with what is going on.
That is better. Let me play the topic more, because you will just enjoy the message. Maybe you might not have time to talk. Let's see, because I was playing this message before you people came in. So let's just take more of it. Let's take more of it.
Military and security experts have said it is impossible for any country to fight 2 civil wars without monumental repercussions. Have you considered this? And what lessons did you learn from the last Nigerian civil war?
The lessons that I will learn from the last war, if I can begin by addressing your last question, is that we should not have given up. Even though we were overawed as a result of a global conspiracy of unprecedented proportions.
You see, did you see the lesson he said he learned?
That is the definition of Itiare Kondo.
They're asking you, which lesson did you learn from the war? He said the lesson he learned that we shouldn't have given up.
Yeah.
The Rock.
Okay.
We shouldn't have given up.
Can I come in now?
Oh, yeah, come in.
Okay. Sometimes all these things are spiritually programmed. You understand? You know, there was one certain time. Onwe Muniana emeki enjoy one certain time. Knock at that bomb na phone. Sim can see a can and map bomb na phone. See a can and mercy. More choice we anibu. See a can and mercy. Sim no mbuya kaling we see. Kadi team maybe. So see a kayo meaning na what ham. I say no mbuya watch a equata. Kamwa baloso. You understand? So according to Onyendu Nagwea here, the pure truth was that na when the Baiji will give up na first Biafra war, there has been a lot of time. Many people have said no na just for 3 months. The difference could have come. Yes. Because people could have weighed in, because the thing now starts gonna gather momentum. Now gather momentum. Mana. The thing is that according to our people, because that time happened for a purpose. Because all that na even with the Biafra, it may likely affect us. The government was not well organized by then. You understand? I hasn't been anything as of that time. I won't be here the well organized, because the well organized at that time could have not happened. So onwe kachukusi emiye and normal na ije njem Biafra noa. I keep on saying it, all the more spiritual than physical. Okay na order. So onwe be here I am that na onweli na that was the gain. That was the reason. And again, if you enjoy like all the way our Itere Kondo, Master Yempia Wazusia lead this thing. Myself, we hear Biafra no atom before I declare Biafra. I make a show now. I won't buy 5 million as of that time. I want a boot 10 or 15. Ma onwe yozo na-ekwu ma ọwụ na declare Biafra, I restore Biafra finally. Anyị ga-akpakedịrị ndị a, anyị na ha nụọ ọgụ, ezigbo ọgụ. Mgbe ahụ anyị agbazi ha jaji, akwụọ ha times 10 ihe ha mere anyị that time. Maka na akwụkwọ nsọ sịrị wicked cannot go unpunished. Anyị akwụrịrị ha ụgwọ ya ha mere. Onweghị onye ha emechi ya ka ọ na free. Ndị a niile fụ na like onye a na-ajụcha onye isi anyị ajụjụ mgbe ahụ. Ndị a niile wuche agent ndị zoo na-eyu ezigbo mmadụ. And glory be to God. All the way Oitere Kondo ji aza ajụjụ na before ịjụcha ajụjụ onwego answer ọ ya enye gị.
Unexpected
answer adịgo ready. Answer adịgo ready and ọ ya aza gị ya nke ma nje duzi ọzọ. You understand? Onwe one certain day our PM there na platform a na-ajụ ajụjụ ha na ndị obodo a ndị otu Nigeria. A na-ajụ ajụ before ajụcha ọzọ aha before ajụcha zara gbara that place. Kedu nka ya dị ya nka kedu udu. So the woman adịghị aba mba for anything but ọ na-aba by na onweghị ya ajụ nwoke a ma ya zanya. You understand? Ha nwa na-achọ ebe ya enweta fort. The same thing to ndị Kedafia Ikenga iya no voice ọ na-ekwu na the problem nwoke a nwere sel no ejide ebe a ịchọ ka ijide ebe ọ mịchala ebe a ịchọ ka ijide ebe ọ mịchala ebe a because na yes kedu ụdịrị nwoke dị nke a that is iji gosi gị na o nwere ka nwoke si wee kwado na gịnị ahụrụ ofu o nwere spirit na-elid ya and thank God o nwere one day even PM na-agwa ha that na even him himself sometimes no na sometimes o mee mistake and will turn back to become in favor of ya na-eme. That is iji gosi gị na ọ wụrụ ọsọ ya nwa o nwere ihe a na-asụ. You understand? So that is what is there. The last thing is that now everybody obodo ekwelugo, Igbo niile ekwelugo, Hausa ekwelugo, Yoruba ekwelugo na anyị na-ana. Only thing wu the time and time ahụ anyị ya decide ha. Our PM post here this time na mgbe iji key ndị enemy na oge nwa ya decide ha ya ekwu. Anyị nwa ya decide ha mgbe anyị na-ana. I say I know one nature, another one nature. I say I know 3 years to come. I never branch because now I want the key. You go down there in Aka. Oh, yeah, did there. God bless every one of you. God bless our PM and our leader.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, let's. Rastaman, do you want to add more spice to that the unexpected answer our leader gave to Dele?
You know, say in that interview, somewhere in that interview, Dele made him to understand that the reason why he came up with that interview was because of what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S said during the NSAS. He said he commanded the youths to do certain things. Say this is why that was his sole reason, because it is what he saw as controversial, because it's like they say that they tell them to mash up everywhere and things like this. And he honestly explained how he meant it and how he was also impressed that these youths speak up, behave. Because if you remember during the NSAS, he said that he will never call them animals again because they now start reasoning. In as much as later, when they show them Indomie, I saw a video where a hen was incubating the eggs, her eggs. I know during this time, they starve, they don't go really eat. So the owner came and was trying to pull one egg. The hen used the beak like this, brought it back. And the man went and brought some maize, give it to the hen. And the hen ate the maize, because you know they starve during this time, no. So and the man just put hand again, take the egg. This egg now the future of the now the picking of the hen, yeah. My people have one saying, they say that the day a hen lay egg is the way she give birth. But when he hatch the pikin, now be the grand pikin. So now this particular hen was protecting her future, but they gave her just small couple of maize. She gave up this future This is what you see when you see this Indomie generation. When they go see the palliative. I don't tell them they not take the palliative. It belongs to them, by the way. But it should even ginger you more to stand firm for the thing we make it come out. Because how long have they been doing this to you? But these people, this is why some people for 2,000 naira, they will say their vote. Just vote for death. Go vote for death. So this is why now, and other things where this man talk now, because our leader apologized, say if people misunderstood him because of the command he made, he apologized, if they got it wrong, but he was not denying whatever he said. He said it, and we know why he said it. So, but that was a place where they wanted to use because they are looking for fault. They are looking for what they're going to use against him, and they couldn't. So now, this man, when he asked him this question, and he was completely under shock when he told him this, because he was looking for any shaky answer. Now he tell him, say, we for no stop. This one, when they tell you, say, because what's how we call it? Scary or scare tactics. Tactics. You know how terrible the war is, and this what you are going now. You say referendum, that means war. Did you think about it? Now they tell them, say, we for no stop. And if we check it here on those exposition, where tell you, say, if they say we know how US was changing their mind to stand for us, and all they say if our people knew all these things, they will not even give up, because they will catch everything now. But the thing we say, our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S already said that when things were unfolding, he realized that this is why our people didn't get Biafra then, because there are some of our people that were not inside. Like now, when we talk, somebody was mentioned that we have the Igodo. So now Igodo, and a lot of things. Now is making sense why it didn't happen those days, So this is why. Well, now when you look at it, I remember the first time I called him 2 times. I don't know, I must have said this in a couple of times. I called him 2 times on live program. The first time was when he was completely angry with our people. Why the slavery? Why could they sell themselves and all those things? And me knowing that he's a man who loves the Torah very well, I decided to call on him. I called him that very morning to comfort him, because if I give him answer from the Torah, I know it will have it will make sense for him. It will comfort him, because when you see it's prophetic, it comforts him. So that was when I started to tell him about the consequences that led to our behavior, that led to the consequences of the sheep, the slavery sheep that Moses talked about in Deuteronomy 28:68. And this identified a people. It didn't happen to any other people. And like I always said, the designer of our flag was one of them who was carried away. And he designed our flag before we put the rising sun on it. So now I called him and I told him that it's an identity crisis. Our people have identity crisis. Because it is identity crisis when a Biafran go talk, say, Bible na white man thing. It's identity crisis because you don't know yourself. When I mentioned this Deuteronomy, when Nnamdi Kanu, he elaborated our migration 2 times. One from Afar region of Ethiopia, and the other one he narrated it. He narrated it well. The people, instead of them to go and look for substances that bear witness to this thing, did he tell you that it was white people that came? Were we white people when we came? Or did even the Bible itself describe Yeshua with woolly hair? White man don't get woolly hair. People read these things, they don't know it. So how can you say that Afro? Now we'll talk about heaven. We live in hell. We should live in heaven. It is not a false interpretation. It's a Shamaim in Hebrew. So, and Hebrew is Afro-Semitic language. How can you say that Afro is European? Instead of you to go and check to the roots, he tell you, say, this is how our ancestors worship. And tell you, say, look at how we came there. And you turn around, you say, white man thing. Which kind of thing be this? And he tell you, when you talk about Israeli, we know that in 740 AD, there was in Europe a lot of conversion into Judaism. Conversion. But we know ethnic Israel. We know the religious Israel, the religious Judaism converted people. We know all those things, but we are not there to fight. He went to Israel. He told them, we are not trying to come to Israel. We just want to be on our own. We're not trying to fight to take. And he tell our people, say, you need ally. And people who are doing like us, associating with us in a way, this we should take advantage of and deal with them, have them as an ally, and stand with them. It's not to go fight anything, but you don't give up your own history and your own prophecy that bears witness and bears you witness. All this stuff that people are complaining, you end up contradicting yourself when you talk about people who come in and they humiliate our people and they take what is ours. They take what is ours. Is it me that is making this sound or what? It's not, it couldn't be from me, I guess. Okay.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. I've muted it.
Okay. It cannot be talking about, you have to, if you
round up quickly so that I will give him the microphone because it's almost midnight. I need to go to bed.
Yes, my brother. It's always good when we go to the root of everything we'll deal with, so that because what keeps Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Eba is the fairness that they deal with, straightness in everything, the truth that they deal with. And if you are truthful in what you're doing with clean heart, that is the thing that will make you, even if you make a mistake, it will work well for you, because it is not a premeditated idea to manipulate anybody. So this is why everything will fall in pleasant places for us. So my people, we the work, the jihadists that we are fighting against, whether you be person where just the talk of our ancestors, they say you be polytheists, they want to buy you, and this is why they want to dip the Quran in the Atlantic. You must deal with that. Call out Islam straight. Call out Islam, because how your religion is, how the Bible is not how Quran is. Hit Islam. You cannot leave Islam and you're talking about you fighting your own brother instead of telling your Christian brother, come, I am a Rastafari. I don't go to church, but my name is Bible as well. So bring your brother, bring your men and the people. We can talk what is connecting all of us, the tradition that holds us, and we can move and see these people who say they want to kill Jews. If you're practicing Judaism, they want to kill you. If you're Christian, they want to kill you. I read it yesterday. I was sharing the Quran chapter yesterday with you, and if you be polytheists, they want to kill you. And these are people where we want to distance ourselves from. And this is why in our prime minister already, these are the three religions we adopt. And I will say that anybody, if Islam want to say that I want to be in Biafra land, I will be one of them. I say everything you know, let's bring them up. I'm sure the benefit it has for Biafra, no matter what it is. Show it and prove it, and accept people who can prove it otherwise, because Biafra and light all the way. Thank you, Bam Bam Bam.
Thank you, fantastic, always delivering the hard message of truth. Thank you. All right, Mazi Chukwumeze, you are welcome. Can you please grab the microphone? Chukwumeze is not near his microphone. Simon Ike Chukwu, please, can you grab the microphone? Leader Simon Ikechukwu is ready to grab the microphone.
And Papa Family is doing it in slow motion, using it to wait for them to grab the microphone. Papa Family won't go sleep because he go wake up in the morning, he can't give us to Hama. So and he exercise his patience. You can even see him dancing, you know. I hope you will grab your microphone.
Can you please grab the mic?
Yeah, can you hear me? Am I coming out clear?
Yeah, I can hear you now, brother.
I think the issue was you muted me, maybe my background. That's why. So,
okay.
Yeah.
It was the network then. It's not me.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I just want to say something. You see, this broadcast you played, I've watched this broadcast like 3 times, but I don't think there's a particular part of this broadcast that our leader made. I don't know for some reason why I never heard that particular part. And that broadcast,
just gave me a clear definition when it comes to faith and your belief in Chukwu Okike Abiama.
Which part was that? Which part was that? Enlighten us again.
Yeah, that part where he said, where this stupid man, because Dele Momodu is an idiot, where this stupid Dele Momodu was asking our leader, he should explain his faith.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah, and our leader made it clear that he said something about all religion. He said all religion, you understand, they believe that there's God in heaven. Yeah, they believe in one God, but they practice it in their own way. But he also made mention that he's a follower of Yeshua.
Of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to, that's the thing, because, you know, to me, I don't believe that people who has come to bastardize, destroy, steal, mayhem my ancestors will tell me how to believe in God. You understand? So, and as from the reason that I got liberated in terms of the struggle, you understand, I ceased to mention that name, you understand, Jesus Christ, because he came from the colonial master. But hearing in this broadcast that our leader said he's a follower of Yeshua, you understand, now I know that Yeshua is real, because the Jewish people don't believe in Jesus Christ. But I believe in Yeshua. So now I know that moving forward, I will use it more often in my prayer. In as much as I acknowledge the supreme God in heaven, Chukwu Okike Abiama, I will acknowledge Yeshua and I will acknowledge my ancestors. Yeah, so that's the one thing I want to make clear. And also, another thing, you see this Dele Momodu, because I have gone several times, he will come online. He will come live. You understand? I will ask this man. You took almost 1 hour, 10 minutes interviewing our leader.
Yes.
Parling with him like you're a friend. Why are you for one day never open your mouth and mention the injustice that's been meted on this prophet of God that you claim to be your...
And after that interview, Dele Momodu had a life after that interview sometime later. He said that was one of the best interviews he has ever had. In fact, the accolades he gave to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you begin to wonder if this man acknowledges Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as he said he's one of the brightest person people have ever had. He said it. And then if you acknowledge that, why is it that you cannot, in your integrity for life, stand and say this man is a just man, he has done nothing wrong, even the court have set him free, you can't even speak it. That means Dele Momodu, I don't want to use the word that YouTube, if I the word in my mind, if I use it, YouTube will ban, they will block this channel.
The thing is because even before the struggle got to this momentum, in the early broadcast of our leader, I heard to him in one of his broadcasts when he was saying that that name, Jesus Christ, was created because back in the days, Europeans, the Roman Empire wanted them to gravitate towards Christianity. So they had to build like an ROC, and name it Jesus, because these people, they believe in seeing like what they want to worship, they want to see it. That was how came about that name. That name, Jesus Christ, is not the true name. That was why I stopped using that name. But listening to this broadcast and hearing our leader mention that he's a follower, of Yeshua, it just settled everything in my mind. And also, Dele Momodu, he will never get, you see, when our leader come out this time, our leader is going to be bigger than Mandela.
Yes.
And he will never get this opportunity that he once had before.
Yes.
To ever interview our leader. See, when our leader come out, a lot of them will run to come and interview him. But these people are the people that made black race look so stupid, you cannot trust them. The likes of Dele Momodu, and the likes of Fani Kayode, that one is the most stupid and ignorant human being.
That one is a hungry dog.
So whatever we are doing is working. Look at the family tree is being created. You can say Dimo Dumego Ojukwu, followed by Mazi, followed by Philip Effiong. then down to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S, to Simon Ekpa, and Biafra Republic government and exile, and all autopiloters. You see, these are the people that's bringing the true freedom. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for what you are doing. Thank you. And this weekend, I'm making sure I buy my ticket for Finland. I'm making sure. Yeah, because it's gonna be history in the making. History, big one. Thank you so much, Pastor Van. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chukwumeze. I always love it that you come up to make a contribution. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S has never denied the fact on his love and connection with Yehoshua. He has never called him, he doesn't like calling him Jesus. Whenever you see him mention Jesus, it's for you to understand who he's talking about, because they have bastardized the name, they have corrupted the name and gave it Jesus. Jesus was not the name. The name is Yehoshua, Yeshua, or Yehoshua, Hamashiach. You know, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S understands the person of Christ. He understands that Christ is the Son of God and that Christ believed in God. So the controversy is when you begin to give the position of the Father to the Son, and begin to say you want to worship the Son, I want to pray to serve the Son. No, the Son is a conduit through which you can get to the Father. That's how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S understood it, and that's exactly how Christ even explained his position, you know, in the Bible. Christ has never taken the place of the Father. It is the Father that gave Christ identity and said, my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased, hear ye him. It's just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S today telling us, listen to Mazi Simon Ekpa, he is bringing a new dimension. So that is to say, I have seen something unique in him. If you listen to him, you will find eternal life. If you listen to Simon Ekpa, you will find life. You will find truth. You'll find your way out of darkness. So, no, it's a lot. Many people will misunderstand it. Many people will go, you know, contrary to it. You know, it is a subject that I have understood very, very well. So that is why they have deceived you with the subject they call Trinity. There is nothing like Trinity. Trinity is idol worship. Trinity does not exist anywhere. Because when you see people today, they say God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. No, Holy Spirit is not God. Holy Spirit is the power of God. It's not God. The Son is the Son of God. And there is only one God, which is the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. I understand the scriptures very, very well. You understand? So let me not go into this eschatology. You know, it will give me another 1 hour of teaching. And maybe Ras, Anya, and Aya. Aya. How do I call this your name? Ras, Aya, and I. But the way you are looking at me, I and I, maybe you will not agree with I.
My brother, the thing is, as I said before, this is a topic that is well deep, and I know we need much longer, because now in the interpretation of your Bible, I know that this ras is not involved in the interpretation. So now, because it's like my existence is not acknowledged, because, you know, but it is me who will now bring myself and see, like the song I sang a while ago. I mentioned Nnamdi Kanu'S, I mentioned Yeshua, I mentioned all these names in between. And that song, actually, I sang it on the 14th of February 2019. Because that was when I newly saw Nnamdi Kanu'S. And when I saw what happened, that was when they did the burial of the parents, you know. So I made this song. I said, I must work something out. I was doing everything. I made a rough recording, very, very rough. I sent it to George Oyibe, but that guy never played it. That was when I knew that he was not straight enough. Because he was that he was going to go to Afaru.
They're just very corrupt souls, very dark people, very dark and satanic people.
He was saying, and now I understood, because that time he was talking about saying where he was going to stay and broadcast. If Nigeria police want to see him, he will be there, he will be broadcasting. Now it looks like the crazy people who go now and say that they are the real fighters. If Simon Ekpa want to come, you know. So now I start understanding that, but then I suspected him, because I did it with my whole heart, you know, just for Nnamdi. And I said, let it be even something like exclusive for him. He will play something that nobody ever had that will be played, you know. So anyway, this particular topic is a topic. This is why I said a while ago that anybody will know what they believe, where you see what you go, how you go add for Biafra. Let's bring it. Even bring Islam, but you have to be ready. Make somebody else make the challenge them. Tell you say why you know make sense. Make we dance. Make we dance and see who connect and who no connect. So this is the same thing because, for example, if I say now, bam 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 kwenu, answer.
Hey.
Yeah is the answer normally.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah is the most general one, but some people identity. But what is yeah in Igbo language?
Yeah is it not God's name? Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah is Yahweh. Is Yahweh.
Yahweh, yeah, God, yeah,
that
yeah. Yahweh,
yeah. And people don't know what they mean. In everything they say, in generally, when they say when, the next thing is yeah. But there's no other thing you can answer. And the next thing is that now when we pray finish, and why do you say he said 3 times? That is Trinity. And now when you say Selassie means Trinity. Highly means, like you say Hamashiach here. Highly means the high.
Okay, now let me buttress a little bit. Let me. The word Trinity exists, but Trinity in the context of it, Trinity in the context of the Roman Catholic Church, where they believe that there are 3 persons in one God, and these 3 persons possess the same authority, the same power. You know, in their 3 offices, they can be representing the same power as one. That is, the Father is the same as the Son is the same as the Holy Spirit, and these 3 are one. So you can serve the Father, you can serve the Son, and you can serve the Holy Spirit. If you tell me Trinity in a better context, I will agree with you. But if you want to explain Trinity to mean what the Roman Catholic Church explains it to be, we are going to argue it for more than eternity, and I will never agree with you. I will never agree with you because I have known it very well that God is not 3, and God cannot be the same in authority and power as the Son. Neither can God be the same in authority and power as the Spirit, because the Spirit is his own spirit. You understand? So okay. That's what I understand. If it will take us a long one day, let us because we're going to go very far into this. I don't want us to take it long. Just give us your closing remark so that maybe on a Sunday, on a good day, we can have a long service whereby we can argue this. Those, you know, I know why it's beautiful is that I don't like it when people fight over it. I like it when people address it based on mutual understanding. And I just say my own, you say your own, and I don't know what we believe. Let's just focus on our freedom and all that. So many people will still not believe what I believe. So the fact that they don't believe what I believe will not make me to hate them or fight them because they don't believe what I believe. So that's just it.
This is why I say it's a thing that will take a while, that we have to be bringing it and dissecting it and reasoning about it. And see each topic, we can break it down. Let's share what it means. Because now, when you call me Ras, you're calling me the name. Because if you check your Psalm 68, Psalm 68 tells you about the father of the fatherless in his holy place. And now, this Ras, this name you see here, is a title of a man who is not in the tomb. And these are histories that they don't talk about. And this is a name that I bear. And this is the father of the fatherless now. I see him as the father, you know, and the father that Marcus Garvey, who designed our flag, pointed at, of whom also the Psalm 87 was talking about. Anyway, and a human being has a spirit, you have your body, and you have your soul. And these are Trinity, which you cannot separate. Because if you remove the spirit, you are no more, you're gone, you know. And if he removes the body, there's no way he can cooperate. Anyway, my brother, I know say you want to go sleep, we'll go talk with this thing. And the next thing is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, each time he mentioned the date of his broadcast, he said in the year of our Lord, because you know this AD, or some call it common era, it marks the birth of Yeshua. And he also said that the coming of Biafra will come like light. So make I like when our people make arguments, make they stand. No be argument where you go make, you go contradict you anyway. But now, for me to let you go and take your rest, my dear brother, bam, bam, bam. Uwazirike and Masob no the beginning of Ohamadike and Ipop. Biafra parents lift their children of Nkiruka and Dazuka adopt. Let us slap injustice with unity. Slap injustice. We tell them no more impunity. We will slap injustice. We slap the zombies with unity. Crack the reckless Fulanis. Common sense, our utility dedicated to humanity, our good duty. Britain, go home with your Land Rover. Every nation's land you want to take over. This is Biafra land rearranged over. Run for cover. We are lovers moreover. Biafra got no immunity for, oh God Almighty. There is no immunity for those who are dealing with iniquity. So now, although there be saboteurs, they can't do nothing to us. Some speaking Queen's English to us, Yankee. Some speaking Turkish to us, but who jobless, no man cause. Thank God we don't pass the wars. Fed up of the zoo, we shaking up the zoo, breaking up the zoo, no make up of the zoo. Oh, children of the rising sun, my people of the rising sun, children of the rising sun. Arise with the rising sun. Then we say, Bia, Bia, Biafra, Bia, 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 Unia, Bia, Bia, Marcus Garvey's flag, Bia, where we sing, this is testing time, Biafra testing, oh yeah, not resting time, Biafra is resting. Yes, my brother, bam, 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 sleep tight and let no bug bite. Blessed love.
Thank you.
We will back up again.
Thank you so much.
Good night, dear friends.
Yeah, good night. I'm going to just, while I go and prepare myself to go to bed, I love you all. I will just allow the message to play for like 10 minutes so that you get the core of it. My Rastaman, thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.
Brother, same to you. Blessed love.
Blessed love. Okay, Muchineke. Enjoy this a little bit.
Biafra-Nigeria war was the Third World War. I despise it with a passion. If you allow me, I wouldn't exist tomorrow morning. Anybody who answers or addresses him or herself as a Nigerian is a product of neocolonialism, not something that I am prepared to accept, because Nigeria never existed until Flora Shaw gave her that name, Nigeria. Before that, you had Oduduwa. Before that, you had Biafra. Before that, you had Crown Brown Empire, and all these wonderful and weird civilizations. Now, a white man cannot come from Europe and then create an identity for me. Only God in heaven can do that. And I can give an identity to my dog. The only thing you can name are your children and your pets. They are not our fathers. They are Caucasians. We are Black Africans. They have no right being in Africa and giving us names. And that I will never, ever accept.
Military and security experts have said it is impossible for any country to fight 2 civil wars without monumental repercussions. Have you considered this? And what lessons did you learn from the last Nigerian Civil War?
The lessons that I will learn from the last war, if I can begin by addressing your last question, is that we should not have given up. Even though we were overawed as a result of a global conspiracy of unprecedented proportions, Biafra-Nigeria war was the Third World War. Because in that war, if you leave Nigeria and Biafra alone, Biafra would defeat Nigeria anytime, any day. pound for pound, Biafra would defeat Nigeria anytime, any day, and I make bold to say this. But Britain got involved. They imposed a no-fly zone over Biafra land. They imposed air, land, and sea blockade to stop us from getting food and arms. But they went behind the back of the world to negotiate with Russia to supply arms to go on. They even brought in Egyptian pilots to fly their planes for them. Nigeria has never won any war in its history. Ordinary Boko Haram, they are begging Niger, they are begging Chad, they are begging Cameroon to help them. They've never won any war. The only thing they specialize in doing is killing civilians, as they did at Lekki Tollgate. That's what they can do. Nigeria has never fought any war. An army is meant to go out to win territories for the country that it claims is coming from. The same way that Lugard led an expeditionary force to come to create Nigeria for the crown in Britain. Nigerian soldiers have not done that before. Anywhere they go, they're humiliated and they come back. So I wouldn't actually see, I wouldn't describe what transpired between 67 to 70 as a Biafra-Nigeria war. Is Biafra versus the whole world. The United States was ambivalent. They never actually, should I say, participated as they should. Britain was there running the whole show. They destroyed Aburi Accord, destroyed the agreement reached between Ojukwu and Gowon. They came back and they instigated a war. That was all they did. There was not, I wouldn't see it as a war. And I want to let Nigeria understand this. There is that tendency, that what I call the Fulani Janjaweedism, there is that tendency to intimidate, that tendency to terrorize, that tendency to subdue, overraw, and then conquer people. It is not going to happen in our time. They will try, but they will fail. The more they focus their attention in the East, the more the terrorists that they themselves spread in the North will overrun them there. So I am not in any way, shape, or form either phased or overawed. They will come again because it's in their nature, and this time around they'll be roundly defeated.
Well, I think with due respect to our men and women of armed forces, I believe they are well rated. I visited them in Liberia. I visited them in Sierra Leone. In Liberia, we were controlling 10 out of 15 counties. In Sierra Leone, in fact, we actually lost one of our brigadiers, and the Sierra Leoneans are eternally grateful to us, because but for the support from Nigeria, both countries, I don't know what would have happened to them. In fact, at the time, Professor Adeniji was the head of UNANSIL in Sierra Leone. I think it would be unfair to describe us military as weak. It is possible, yes, that they got support from somewhere else. Of course, there are allies. That's why you had NATO. In fact, it's one of the reasons a lot of people are angry with America under Trump, that he has virtually collapsed the relationship, military ties to other countries. So I'll leave it at that. But then I want to go to the next question. The Igbos are obviously marginalized in the political configuration of Nigeria, but they have done extremely well globally in business, in sciences, in commerce, and so on. Won't they risk a lot of these spectacular achievements if you decide to go the way you want to go?
I should have thought that your question should be along the line of...
Ti incuriosisce il marketing? È tempo di aumentare le tue entrate con Taboola Nati Bets.
Had those people been in Nigeria, don't you think that Nigeria would be a better place? For instance, but it's never happened and will never happen for the following reasons: resentment, envy, and the need for the Fulani Janjaweed Caliphate to dumb down a standard of excellence so that everybody can become an Alimajiri. That's exactly what I have done. I am not shocked nor surprised that we are recording not just, Igbo people or Biafrans, but Yorubas are doing the same thing as well all over the place. Is there? What I then want to ask people is this: Why is it that we cannot wake up one morning and hear that there is one Fulani mathematician in Florida doing very well, maybe working for NASA? Why is it that we have not woken up one morning to hear there is one Fulani man or woman voted in as a mayor or as a parliamentarian somewhere in Europe? It will never ever happen, because that is not their orientation. That is not how they were brought up to see society. The recognition of people's skills and talent is a prerequisite for the driving of any progressive society. That hasn't happened in Nigeria, because if you're not from the north, may God help you. Why is Nigeria suffering today? Nigeria is suffering because of successive regimes of mediocrity and sub-standardization, for the simple reason that people do things based on ethnicity. People want to protect their tribe. Even if they're performing very badly, they want their tribe to become preeminent. And in the process, those men and women who are skilled, who are well-read, who are well-learned, they get forgotten. And then, of course, they travel abroad, and you can see their excellence come to the fore. And that's exactly what has been happening. What we are saying is that once we have Biafra, they will all come back home. And Biafra will quite rightly become the light of Africa and Black people all over the world. Because without Biafra, Black Africa will keep floundering, and there can never be any progress.
I'm sure you know that politics is a game of number. And it has been theorized that the domination you complain about of the, what you call the Fulani hegemony, has been made possible because of the lack of unity amongst the peoples of North Central, Southeast, South-South, and Southwest. And that if they unite, they will be able to end the perpetual dominance of the so-called Northern oligarchy. Do you agree?
100%. And that was why some of us threw our weight behind our children. Some people will say, refer to me as a youth, but I'm not. I'm a very old man. I may look young, but I'm a very old man. Now, the reason why we supported our young people was because for the first time in living memory, we managed to bridge that divide, to bring everybody closer around an issue that is of importance and concern to all these people. Were you not surprised when, following what transpired on the 20th of this very month, the same people that have failed and will continue to fail, the same leadership structure, or should I say the same cozy boys club that they formed, if your father is passing on, he will hand you over to the next buffoon to groom you in this politics of mediocrity that you find in Nigeria. Were you not surprised and shocked that the same people managed, or should I say succeeded, in introducing the tribal and ethnic dimension into what we are doing? Those of us in the South, I am proud of the, should I say, the understanding that those of us in the East have with our Yoruba brothers in the West, and of course, as time goes on, also Middle Belt. There is now a recognition that we are our own worst enemies. In Katsina State, there are other tribes other than Hausa and Fulani. In Katsina. In Bauchi, the same thing. All across the north. It is not a homogeneous society. The only thing that binds them together is just their language. Underneath, if you scratch the surface, you will begin to see a lot of, they have more ethnic groups in the north than you have in the south. Many more in the north than have in the south. But over the years, the Fulani oligarchy have managed to should I say, moderate their differences. And despite what is going on underneath, they have always succeeded in presenting this united front for the north. Anytime we try that in the south, they bring in their, what people are referred to as professional gossipers. they bring in people who will always do their best to divide us, because the North understands. Any day the Igbo and the Yoruba put their differences behind them, get their acts together, for goodness sake, Nigeria will be a better place. Everybody knows that very well. So in order not to allow that to happen, they now appoint, or should I say, rig our governors into office. They go to Ohanese, they bribe a few people to go to Afenifere, they identify one or two people to, should I say, to groom to do their dirty jobs for them. And what is that dirty job? You saw it in full view and in full display on the 20th. People that claim they went to school, people that claim they are senior advocates, people that claim they're enlightened, were the ones that introduced the tribal and ethnic dimension into that very successful protest. And you can see where we are today. They are rejoicing in the North. They're having fun in the North. That thing they have always done, once again, they have done it. But of course, they cannot break us. This time around, we just want to let them understand this. The unity between the Igbos and the Yorubas is deeper than EndSARS protest. It is far more fundamental than they can even imagine.
Now, is Biafra your only option, or you are willing to work with other so-called oppressed peoples to form a union like it is in the United Arab Emirates?
Everything depends on what the people want. I am a Democrat. I am a Republican by genetic disposition. Anything the people want is what they're going to get. My dream and my mission is Biafra. Let's say during a referendum, people decide we want to be, yes, Biafra is good. We can answer Biafra within a union that comprises of Middle Belt, of Oduduwa and Biafra with a new name. Who am I to say no? I'm a Democrat. Whatever the majority decides is what I'm going to do. But as for us, we are pursuing Biafra. And I will also help the Oduduwa people to pursue the Oduduwa Republic. I will help the Middle Belt to do the same. But one thing is paramount. Should our people decide at a referendum or plebiscite to say, we want to maintain a semblance of union with Oduduwa and the Middle Belt, who am I to say no? I am a Democrat and I will go with it. But my primary concern now is the restoration of Biafra.
An audio surfaced recently, I think about 2 weeks ago. It was sent to me by a family member, in which your voice, we heard your voice, directing your operatives to hit certain targets in Lagos. What led to this in a state that has really embraced the people of Southeast and South extractions? If that was your voice, do you regret the action, and are you willing to apologize for it?
It is my voice, but what I said was cut and joined together to suit the very message or narrative that our detractors were, should I say, determined to peddle. If you listen to the whole broadcast that I made, you will find out that that very audio that those people, those charlatans put out there in the public domain is not exactly what I intended. But I have said this before and allow me to repeat. If by making the pronouncement that I made on that very day that I was misunderstood, or that the true intentions of what I was wishing or willing to convey was somehow misconstrued, then I apologize for it. Because I believe that it is very, very important that we understand this. I wouldn't want to do anything, either knowingly or unknowingly, to inflame passions in the West. I wouldn't wish to do anything that would cause my Yoruba brothers and sisters alike to think, should I say, to become jittery about what our true intentions are. You made reference to your operatives. I was addressing Nigerian youths right across Nigeria, not just in Lagos. And given the heat of the moment, people were being massacred. I'm not sure that most of those commentators and apologists for Asarok have had their homes invaded before. When Fela speaks, you can hear the way that Fela speaks all the time about Nigeria Army and Nigeria Police. Why? Because Fela was a witness when his house was invaded and the mother died as a result of it. Something happened to me. As a result of Nigeria military invasion of my house, my father is dead and my mother is dead as well. So when people like us with a first-hand experience of the brutality of a very primitive security architecture in a country as backward as Nigeria, you can then begin to appreciate where we're coming from. If I spoke out of turn, if people who listened to what I said misunderstood the true intentions behind the words that I uttered that night, then I do unreservedly apologize, because nobody can divide the Yorubas and the Igbos anymore. It's not going to happen. They will try, but they will not succeed. That I can assure them. What is of concern to us is that those responsible for the slaughter of those people are held responsible. The same way, I hasten to add, that those who are responsible for the murder that we can order today going on in Obibo will be held accountable. They will and must be held accountable. I do apologize if I offended anyone, but no offense was intended in the first place. I gave an order to Nigerian youths right across the board to do what they did because the Nigerian state is evil. They believe in killing their own children. They believe in suppressing free speech. They believe in breaking up peaceful assembly with the use of force. That type of nonsense must come to an end, and they must be taught a lesson, and that was exactly what we did.
Okay, let me confess that it was actually that audio that led me to looking for you. You see, I believe that journalists must help their nation to understand some certain people and personalities like yourself. And I want to say at this stage that I'm sending my special thanks to two people. One of them I can mention publicly, the other would not want me to mention him. And the first is Femi Fani-Kayode, my very dear friend and brother. I contacted him because I knew there is a special bond between the two of you. And he contacted someone else who contacted you. And I want to say thank you to both of them so they know themselves. What is the relationship between you and Femi that every time I see that you are in the same direction?
He is very brave. He is urbane. He is polished and very erudite. He is a scholar and a conscientious one at that. You know, in Nigeria, you have scholars, people who just study for the sake of it, people who just read for the sake of it. He practicalizes what he understands to be humanity. And that is why I love him, I respect him, and I call him a brother. He epitomizes what any intellectual should aspire to be. You intellectualize that is very true or very good, and then you must have a human side to yourself. He is de-tribalized, as you well know, and I'm sure that in time to come, he will have a very great role to play, if not in Ududuwa, but also in Biafra. If Biafra were to come tomorrow, I will take him. And I'm sure that he will have a lot to contribute in making Biafra a better place for everybody to be in. So I have not only love for him, but also have regard for him.
Now, I'm sure you are aware there are efforts to start a movement.
I honestly do not think Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would still hold the same opinion of that stomach infrastructure bingo called Femi Fani-Kayode. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would wish he takes this word back about that idiot called Femi Fani-Kayode. MNK, we know you trust people. We know you believed that man was a sincere person. But honestly, that man is worse than the people we are fighting to stop encroaching into our land. The sleep when they my eye don't come out because of the accolades my leader is giving to that idiot. Hey, you were well. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S. Don't worry. We know who you are. You are an honest man. Femi Fanikayode, Chineke ga-akpọ gị ọkụ.
That will bring the Yorubas and the Igbos together and closer. Are you willing to play a major role in that union?
Yes, we are doing ours on the ground. You saw the protest on the 1st of October right across the world, Yoruba One Voice and IPOB. So we are doing ours. That was why I categorically stated, and without any equivocation, that the bond between the Yorubas and the Igbos can no longer be broken by anybody. They will thrive, but they will fail. It can't be broken anymore. So I am more than willing and able to serve in whatever capacity that is required of me to make sure that these two great nations pilot the affairs of Black people in Africa going forward. Because without them, Africa is doomed, more or less.
Now, I will plead with you to take the next question very softly, because as a Christian, I believe my faith teaches me to render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's. So which means I respect constituted authority. My question is about your best friend, our president and commander. Now, you propounded this theory of a cloned man, and that our current president is a Sudanese man called Jibril. Do you agree that your information might have been wrong, and you are also willing to apologize to him for that error? Anybody can make a mistake.
No, not at all. Buhari is dead and buried in a shallow grave in Saudi Arabia. Aisha Buhari was there. She came back from what they called a lesser Hajj. She was wearing black. She was mourning. If you look at the pictures that were circulated at that point in time, you will see the smug, or should I say, the forlorn faces of northern governors. A minute silence was held at the AU for a late Buhari. Even Her Britannic Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, also penned a condolence message to the people of Nigeria before the cabal took over and asked her to rescind it, which she did. Buhari is dead, and I'm prepared to stake Biafra on it. If you, Dele Momodu, can go and prove to me, I'm not asking you to do anything too complex. If you can go and ask this man you call Buhari, whoever it is in Asorok, to come outside, don't do very much, address a panel of Nigerian youths, maybe 20 of them, and speak Buhari's mother tongue, which is Fulfude. I will give up Biafra, I will apologize to him, and I will submit myself to any authority on this earth to do with me as they please. There is no Buhari. Jibril was there. Jibril followed Abba Kyari to Cuba and ran away from there and never came back. The man you have now in Asorok is from Niger Republic. His name is Yusuf Abubakar Muhammad. That's his name. Yusuf Abubakar Muhammad. Even Shekau knows who he is personally and was mentioning his name as well. It is not Buhari. The old Buhari that you and I know, the country cannot be burning and he will restrict himself to only 12 minutes of edited broadcast. Impossible. Impossible. Anybody that knows Buhari, even if he's dying, he must speak because he fought in his own understanding to keep Nigeria one. Anything that impacts or threatens the territorial cohesion and integrity of Nigeria, the old Buhari, in fact, he will be in Lagos. The old Buhari will be in Lagos, I'm telling you. But this little, have you not seen him with his fresh hands of a 35-year-old? He cannot wear this. He cannot wear this. Because if he wears this, his ear will bend because he's rubber. Silicon. We know about AI technology. It's deep fake. Please Google it. You're a media man, you must know this. I can replicate this very interview with your face showing us having this conversation, but it is not you. You also saw that some, would I say, some eagle-eyed investigators managed to discover that there was actually a microphone, a loudspeaker on the table. It's everything that they claimed that Buhari was saying was coming from a loudspeaker. From a loudspeaker. Very, very sad indeed. These are the things that the world must understand and come to terms with. That the person you are calling Buhari is not Buhari, and I can stake my life on it. If he comes out tomorrow and takes, or should I say, address any press interview live, without Garba Sheikh, we bring this, telling people to cut. If he can come out tomorrow, a panel of journalists will, no, not journalists, because some of them are corrupt, youths will address him. There and then you will know that Buhari is no more. There is no Buhari. No country. How can you have a country you claim you're proud of, and that country is run by 10-minute video recorded every 4 months? What sort of country is that? Every 4 months you issue a pre-recorded video to address 200 million people. What an insult. What an insult. In a time of crisis, there is COVID-19, people are agitating, they're very restive. The only thing you can do is 10 minutes video. Laughable and absolutely absurd. And no sensible person should be able to tolerate it. Buhari is dead, and I stake my life on it.
Please don't stake your life on it, because I am very, very convinced that he is alive. I have been meeting Buhari since 2010. Okay, and the last time I met him was 2 years ago inside Aso Rock with a former president of Africa. I met him, we interacted, he cracked jokes with me, he even said, Dele, it seems you've added weight. I am telling you that I am not foolish not to know the person I've been seeing for 10 years. I've worked closely with him on his campaign. And yes, you could have your theory why you think, you see, my own theory is different. Because he was very sick, a lot of people thought that he would die, and God restored his life. And I think that is why you think he is dead. I am personally convinced that he's alive. I believe that a man like President Olusegun Obasanjo will not go and hold any meeting with a cloned president of Nigeria. If I can't vouch for any other person, I know that Obasanjo will never agree. He will talk.
There is a saying where I come from, Dele. If you see something that is greater than your farm, you sell your barn where your harvest of yam is, where you store your yam, because that is the greatest thing that any Igbo man has in the olden days. If you see something that is greater than your farm, you sell your barn. And you could be a robber. They do not want to expose that the fact that Buhari is dead, because everybody depends on the oil and gas coming from Biafra land. Without oil and gas, Nigeria will be worse than a banana republic. There will be nothing happening there. Nigeria runs what is called a rentier economy. You sell oil and gas to import everything you need, including toothpick, including Indomie and pasta. So what is called the doctrine of stabilization. If you come out and you announce that Buhari is dead, there will be pandemonium everywhere. In fact, the US government feels that if they allow a precipitous collapse of Nigeria, it may impact the wider region. That is what the Africa desk at the State Department has been doing for very many years. So if you expose the fact that Buhari is dead, it will cause pandemonium, and there will be regional destabilization, and you will have a whole load more of foreign terrorist groups to contend with. Now you have 7. Many more will come up. They do not want to turn northern Nigeria into another Yemen, Afghanistan, or Syria, or Somalia, for that matter. That is the only reason why they're keeping quiet, and everybody's hoping that he will make it to 2023 so that Aisha can go with the boyfriend and relax, because Buhari is dead, absolutely dead and confirmed. Look at the hands of your, I can become a trend. You ever seen that little boy they call Tagwe that used to mimic Buhari, speak the way that Buhari does, crack Buhari jokes? That little boy is an Igbo boy. They've not given him a Fulani girl to marry. You know that little boy called Tagwe, he's a comedian. He mimics Buhari. These things happen. People can mimic Obama. People can mimic whoever they want to mimic. There are expert actors who can do all of these things. But let me make this very clear to you. It's a very simple thing. I'm not asking for a DNA test anymore. If Buhari can hold a meeting, the man you call Buhari, with Nigerian youths to ask him questions and speak his mother tongue Fufude, then I will give up. But I can assure you categorically that you are one of those that they have deceived, but they cannot deceive us. It was a well choreographed, well planned, and executed with military precision. They knew what they were doing because Britain is in charge. Britain is in charge. The same way they took charge of the NSAS protest. You were there, you were watching when British High Commissioner went to Lagos, did not see the Lagos State Governor, but saw Tinubu. Not up to 48 hours, the army came and started shooting. And now, as they say, the rest is history. The people controlling you are those that created you. The people that made you a Nigerian are those now in charge of your lives. You are not in charge of Nigeria. They are, and are the ones running the show. And maybe next week, you get another 10 minutes video recorded. The old Buhari couldn't have done that. Ask Obasanjo, how many times did you allow them to broadcast a recorded speech in a time of national crisis? How many times? Obasanjo will tell you no. Jonathan, the same thing. Only this thing that they put up there. Now, I will ask you to put on your face mask. Put it on. Put on your face mask. Let us see. Do you have one with you?
Yeah.
Ask them to bring it for you. Put it on. Your ear will not bend. Your ear can never bend. It's impossible because you're a human being. You have cartilage in your ear. But if this ear is made of silicone, as the one that Aisha's boyfriend is wearing, once you put on mask, your ear will bend. Simple. And that is why we have common sense and brain. Keep asking yourself. They took a picture with Jonathan, with everybody, with Yemi Osibajo. None of them had their ears bent. Only Buhari's ears were bent. Others were wearing the same mask, but only Buhari's ear was bent, meaning that it's made out of rubber, silicone. The person that's not Buhari can never ever be. Please go ahead.
Okay, so do you have a map for Biafra? Where will it start from and where will it end?
First of all, do you know that
You don't say to mama, you don't read, oh. Says the tracking angel. You don't boast to mama, you don't cut. Now chain you the cut. Okay, now make I use my microscope, scan a reality, scan nigga area Biafra phobia mentality. See, set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S free. One war. They don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Biafra, most I Jaja bless Biafra, Chukwuki Biafra bless Biafra, conscientiousness bless Biafra, Biafra, started in 1804, by Uthman down Fodio, Rinom go be to Sokoto, Sa Amadou Bello, they massacred the Hausa, Marili and Pura, what about the Shua, Zamfara and Adamawa. Referendum is the voice of everyone. Real freedom, Yahweh must be done on the land. Simon, the They don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Biafra, Biafra. Most I Jaja bless Biafra. Chukwoki Kabiama bless Biafra. Conscientiousness bless Biafra. Biafra, Biafra. They tried by the Kanu'S. This reckless Fulani. They conquered the Lorraine. Fooling, they killing in Benue every day. Niger State and Plateau State every day. People love me to bed state every day, every day, every day. Our move, don't do. They say we move, but now we move. They don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Most I Jaja bless Biafra. Chukwoki Kabiama bless Biafra. Conscientiousness bless Biafra. Biafra, Biafra. We know that they are the terrorists. Like the man called Shegumi, terrorist. Gabe Sheva Dosinabiomi, terrorist. Isa Ali Ibrahim Batami, terrorist. Boko Haram in the army, terrorist. They stop the people from farming, terrorist. Abubakar Malami, terrorist. Mainstream media swami, terrorist. Now we have more sellers than buyers. Information minister liar. Mr. like Mohammed and liar. The truth is Biafra's fire. They don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Biafra, Biafra. Most I Jaja bless.